My name is Ida Rosenberg. I am a 15-year-old Jewish girl in the socialist Poland. The year is 1968. Things will shift under my feet so drastically I will not recognize my life. The anti-Semitism that we thought would have died with Hitler's death will be resurrected as if with a swift pen. In a span of 18 months, 90% of Jews who are first and second generation Holocaust survivors will be expunged from Poland. The Holocaust is very deeply etched into my family's psyche. My father, one of only 4 survivors of a family of some 150 people, will lose his entire family in the Jewish ghettos and the gas ovens of concentration camps. He will never speak of the horrors of the war. My mother, whose small family survives only because the Bolsheviks get to them the night before the Germans do and imprison them in labor camps in Siberia. She will speak only of the stark beauty of the tundra and the amazing generosity of the poorest of Russian peasants who will take them in, nurse them back to health upon their release. But I hear of their pain and agony. I hear their screams at night, the nightmares that punctuate so many nights of my childhood. Events that will take place a continent away will trigger an avalanche of anti-Semitism. After the 6-day war in Israel, a government-issued petition is circulated amongst all schools. We are asked to sign a proclamation denouncing the Israeli actions in support of the Arab nations. I am not sure. To this day, I am not sure what propelled me to this action, but I said I will not put my name down, not realizing what repercussions could befall upon my family. My parents are called to school, and luckily, the situation is put to rest because the school administrator likes my family. But my father grows leery. He is worried that the danger is coming. I am told in no uncertain terms, do not invite friends over or pick up the phone at night when I listen to Radio Free Europe. Do not speak of anything that is being said at home, even to your closest friends. And please, no more rebellion. In the spring of 1968, Polish students are staging demonstrations across colleges and universities. They want freedom. They want freedom of expression. They want to build Poland where their voices matter. And their peaceful demonstrations are met with violence and terror. They are beaten by the soldiers and the police, thrown in jail, thrown out of the universities, and their parents are targeted by the government that wants their apartments, their careers, their jobs, their lives. Nothing will prepare us for what is coming. Barely 60 kilometers from my hometown, Czechoslovakia is fighting for their own freedom from the Soviets. Tanks are rolling in front of our house. as Russian soldiers are invading Czechoslovakia. Young men sitting on top of tanks, their faces covered in dust, are looking bewildered, as are we watching this theater of war. The thundering sound of the tanks permeate every cell of our bodies, and my parents are traumatized. They are terrified. My sister, in the first year of Jagiellonian University, is targeted by the secret police, the equivalent of KGB. They want her to infiltrate the underground and report on the activities of other students. Their menacing presence is intimidating every single day in front of her apartment building, in the hallways of the university, in the back seat of the lecture hall. She refuses, but they say, if you do not cooperate with us, great harm will come to your family. The country is in turmoil. Prague is burning. Students are revolting. The economy is on the brink of a collapse. And the government reaches for a toolbox and extracts from it a tried and true scapegoat. They say, all of this unrest, everything that is happening that is so unsettling, that is putting this country in turmoil, is caused by the elitist, undeserving, spoiled Jewish youngsters, the product of their Jewish families. They and their parents need to be punished. Władysław Gomulka, the Secretary of State, goes on national television and states, if you are a Jew, you can leave this country now. Leave your citizenship, declare yourself, you will have 3 months to be gone. And overnight, this anti-Semitism that lay dormant for 23 years since the end of war becomes a wildfire of hatred. Across my small mountain town, banners are strung across the main street. Zionists, get out of Poland. Jews, go back to Israel. I look at it and I think to myself, they cannot possibly be talking to me. There is a boy. He asks me out on a date. My parents say, okay. I meet him in front of a movie house. He says, I cannot go out with you. My mother forbade me because you are a Jew. I look at him and I'm thinking, you idiot, you stupid, stupid, ignorant boy. I don't say that. Instead, I say, took some courage for you to say that to my face. Perhaps you are not as cowardly as you seem. I take a long walk. I don't want to come home and tell my parents why I didn't go to the movies. I enter the chemistry lecture hall. There was a gathering around my desk. I move forward, and people part. I look at my desk, "Dirty Jew" is scrawled across it. My friends are trying to shield me. My teacher says, please take a different seat. And I say, no, this is my desk. I am comfortable here. And I am stunned. My sister arrives from the university and tells our parents about the latest encounter with the secret police. Our fate is sealed. My parents make a decision that we need to leave Poland. 3 months later, we board a train. The weekly quota of Jews who will leave Poland, a country that they thought was theirs. We will take long abandoned tracks from central Poland through Czechoslovakia to Austria. We will have left everything behind. In our suitcases, only a prescribed number of allowed items. The soldiers who are guarding the train will walk by our compartment, their menacing eyes upon us. We can hardly breathe. From my anger, I turn into fear. Every cell of my body is humming in fear. I can hardly breathe. The silence in the compartment is maddening. It's late at night and the train stops. About an hour passes, and then some commotion, and the train lurches forward. We hear nothing. I look outside the window, and the night is as black as velvet. And then the compartment doors open. There stands a soldier, his uniform a different color, and his eyes are kind. He nods and says, "You have just crossed the Iron Curtain. You are free now." We don't say anything, we just cry. And for the very first time, I realize that freedom is not what I want or need. It is a feeling. In the early hours of the next morning, we are met at the Vienna train station by representatives of Catholic charities, Lutheran services, and Jewish relief organization. People who will build a bridge for us from a country who said get out to a country that will say yes. Vienna is a time of transition. We will be there for 4 months awaiting our entry visa to the United States. But we are also a family in transition. My parents, so traumatized, are paralyzed. From that day on, my sister and I will have to use every initiative we know how to move forward. On January 16, 1970, a flight from Vienna arrives at JFK. Along with about 100 other political refugees, we are ushered to a hangar. There, after many hours of paperwork, we leave with the coveted green card in our hands. A young man from Jewish Relief Organization who is guiding us to a van that will ultimately take us to our hotel stops abruptly. He turns, an apologetic smile on his face, and he says, "Oh, I forgot. Welcome to America."